I thought it was love, but it was just a lack of attention. Lacking the attention of the father that I didn't even mention. It's cool having a brother who showed you the ropes. I wish it was my father. That would have been so good. Unfortunately, he didn't show me the ropes. Thoughts of your shatters as I threw a picture across the room. How many nights am I going to allow you to control my thoughts in my own room? Never did I thought you were going to be the one to hurt me. Never did.
Greetings. I am your host, Sheena Gadine with the True Rock Radio. Welcome and thank you for joining us with the rock truth or absolutely nothing at all. We live in a society today where truth, even before our very eyes, is constantly questioned, criticized, and altered to fit a personality of God, original intent for the kingdom of mankind. We believe that the Bible, our kingdom constitution, is inspired, inflated, inherited, and finally authorities for all. Rock bottom is founded for he who is the original point of reference for all things to come through eternity. The Rock Bottom Podcast is a cross-cultural responsive generation, economic and social injustice of the kingdom. Women in today's society. Rock Bottom Podcast is established for each one, reach one, teach one. The loss of embodied arts as an inherited chosen daughter. Therefore exposed to the hidden and the plain sights. Assassination attempted on the kingdom morals integrity and glory of her eternity, ultimate healing, the broken love language between the kings and the queens by applying kingdom principles. Relevation knowledge, the podcast seeks to enlighten and highlight upcoming established local queens and kings of character, while also promoting Black conscious awareness of not only who we are, but who we belong to. It's absolutely a kingdom renaissance. Hello, hello, fellow rock troopers. Hello, hello. How are we doing? And as always, I thank you for tuning in to Rock Truth with your host, Sheena Gadine. I am here to motivate, inspire, and always give y'all someone to inspire y'all with things that they do, inspire y'all with things that they've been through. And as always with Rock Bottom, we don't look like what we've been through. So today I'm going to start off and inspire y'all with a poem that I wrote in my book called The Mask Behind the Mask. And this one is called Power. It says, I am powerful. I have strength. I have peace. Everything that's positive, I am. I'm a person who won't take no for an answer. If there's something I want, I'm determined to get it. Nothing can stop me as I walk with my face. The power of wisdom, the power of courage, the power of strength, all combines a weapon for battle of savior. All these things encourage you to be a powerful person. Any path you take, you will have a hill to climb, but make this journey a little easier. Have all the power and strength through the life travels and stay the course. There's a light at the end of the transformation. And with that poem, it's basically to enlighten people that you have the power. It's barked inside of you. And you got to be willing to just take what's inside of you and to motivate yourself and others that are around you. Always be willing to bring somebody up after you've been through something. Just because you've been through it, somebody else behind you is probably still trying to figure it out as well. As always, I love and I appreciate everybody for tuning in through Rock Bottom because, we don't look like what we've been through. And sometimes storms can be hard and we might not know where to turn. So if you're seeking help or if you're ever in a lack of needing faith, always remember, keep your faith, stay wisdom, and always it's nothing wrong with talking to somebody. Some people we fear that going to have a conversation with a therapist or seeking help is a sign of weakness, but it's not. It's a way of showing power, strength, and definitely showing unity. So today I have an awesome guest in the building. He is a man of many hats. He had his trials and tribulations, but he made it. And he's here to tell his story on how he made it. So I would love to bring my awesome guest, Cecil, in the building. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm all right. Yourself?
I'm good. I can't complain. The devil tend to try to throw things to screw up the narrative, but I always find a way to make it a positive situation instead of just dwelling on it. So I
Right.
can't complain. Life.
Uh,
So, can you tell us where you're from and what do you do?
all right. Well, I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri, but I grew up in Aurora, Colorado, and this is where I live now. And pretty much
Okay.
like I'm an author. I have my own clothing line, Born Hated Culture, and I just try to chase my dreams, and that was my dreams, like literature, telling the story. So, yeah.
Okay, I see you over there. So, question. We gonna take it back a little bit before we got to the books and to the clothing line.
Definitely.
So, because you know at rock bottom we've all started somewhere to where we don't look like what we've been through.
Right.
So, can you tell me a little about where did it start? Like, what got you? How did your path start, and then how did you get into becoming an author?
All right. Well, that's kind of like a long story, but like backstory all the way like to childhood. Like I always had like a passion for writing and stuff like that and poems. But then like as I got older, like teenage years, like I started getting into trouble. Like I got into like gangs and stuff like that, and I ended up doing like a lot of juvenile time and then like a lot of prison time. Like I was sentenced to 16 years in prison for armed robbery. That's part of my story right there for armed robbery, and I did almost 10 years on that sentence. But doing that sentence, like it sounds bad, but I feel like it saved my life because it forced me to have to sit down, and then I had to sit down and reevaluate my life. Like, and then that's when I found like writing once again. Like I love writing, so let me work on writing. So most of my time in prison, that's what I did. Like I wrote short stories, I wrote books and stuff like that. And then once I was released 3 years ago, I've almost been out 3 years now. Since I've been released, I published 2 books. I'm getting ready to publish my third one on Monday. I just followed my dream from there, and that's when.
Okay, listen, I tell you, and sometimes, like you said, it sounds like you being in jail could be a rough thing, but it saved your life, and maybe that was something that needed to happen,
Right.
something that needed
That's
to get you to stop and listen and sit for a second. Because if
right.
you was out, who knows what could have happened?
Yeah, and I think about that a lot. That's why I don't complain or anything like that. Like everybody complains, like nobody wants to be in prison.
Yeah,
At the same time, there's like a bigger picture to it.
right.
That's where we're at now. So,
Okay, so the first book, what was the first title? What was the first book you wrote? What was the first title?
all right, my first book was love related. That's it, right?
Okay.
And I
Okay.
and it's pretty much it's like a love story. It's how I envisioned like my love story to be once I got out of prison, like talking to the same woman for so long, and then going to prison and like trying to hold on to that relationship, but then getting
Mhm.
out, and like after like almost 10 years, like people are completely different people. But it's a story about trying to rekindle that same love that they had before. You know what I'm saying? The whole prison sentence. So
That sounds like a good little thing to be like, listen, I might have to I need to get that on the Kindle. Now with the title, because sometimes like our titles is drawn to us. Like, did it take you a long time to get the title of your book, or once you had your story, you just already knew like this is what the title's gonna be?
it took me like till I was almost done writing it to figure out what it's gonna be called because like I didn't know, but I know I wanted. It's like it's a love story, but it's an urban love
Hmm.
story. I knew it.
Right.
I wanted to be like love something, and I'm like just related. Like everything related to the book is like love. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yep, love related. It just clicked one day. I don't know.
And that tends to happen because like some people they start their project and they're not sure like I want to name it this, and then they fight with a few titles, and
Yeah,
then it's like they might get to the end and still switch up the title. So definitely, as an author, I understand the fight of figuring out what should this book be titled, because you needed something to impact people when they first see it, because a lot of people read with their eyes first.
yeah,
So
definitely.
now, with your journey becoming an author, do you feel that it was a hard journey? Like, was it hard to figure out the route of becoming a self-publisher or doing traditional?
Um, well, I feel like me honestly, I thought it would be hard, but I
Hmm.
was blessed because when I first got out of prison, I was in a halfway house, and I was
Okay.
blessed case managers to be an independent author herself. And then
Mm.
like I kind of expressed to her like what I wanted to do, like once I got myself on track, like working and everything together, like I wanted to try to publish books. And like she kind of pretty much like told me like, hey, I'm gonna start having like classes up here at Core Civic, about writing and stuff like that. So if you want to be a part of these classes and learn how to self-publish books and stuff like that on Amazon, I'll teach you. And like pretty much she taught me, and like I ain't looked back from that.
See, that's dope because everybody don't have that, and so they're out searching for a publisher or somebody to help them, and then you have people that makes them spend so much money and get caught up and be spending so much money just to produce a book.
Yeah, like I said, shout out to Rashida Smith. Like he's also like the co-author of my second book. So
Okay.
uh,
So let's get into the second book. Now, after you, well, first, when we got into the first book, what is your most favorite part of writing that book? Like, we all have a special moment in that book. What was the favorite moment in that book?
um, I'll probably have to say the end, like the whole end, like of them coming together. But you
Okay.
get to know like what's going on. But yeah,
Then no, it's all right.
but it's
So
good.
how did the second book come about?
The second book, after I published my first book, like it did better than what I thought. Like I sold like a
Okay.
lot of copies, and then I started working. Like I have like literally 17 books already written. Like all I
Mm,
have to do is just like publish them and stuff like that, edit them, publish them, cover art and stuff like that. So Rashida Smith, like she has like her own books that she's published and stuff like that, and pretty much like I told her like we can work on something together as like you're a dope author, I'm a dope author, and you helped me, you know what I'm saying, learn how to publish books, you know what I'm saying, so we can come together like on a venture or something like that. And then that's when India's Web, Rashida Smith and Cecil Mason, that's when the second book came apart. So pretty much like it's a female's version and a man's version of
mm.
like of the same situation. So like you get it from like both views.
Now, what is the situation in this book?
This situation, this is like well, first off, I'm gonna say like all my books like have some type of love story in them. That's just like,
Okay.
but this one, this is like a hood like love story, like Beyonce and Jay-Z couple type, like in Aurora, Colorado. Like they're that couple, and like they're into like the under like I would say like they're criminals or drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? Like that type.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Bonnie and Clyde. That's what I was looking for. They're Bonnie and Clyde. But then like both of their like trust for each other, it gets tried, you know, by outsiders. And then
Okay.
it's pretty much like the escalation, like if they're strong enough to hold that same bond, or if they're gonna turn on each other and crumble, you know, find new loves and things
Okay.
like that.
Mm. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, interesting. Listen, he said, it's like, you got to get the trust going and then we together, but you got to get all in. That's like real life though. Like
Yeah, that's
the
how I try.
real life relationship.
Yeah, yeah.
So, question. So you coming out of prison, did you get the love story that you expected to have?
I didn't,
You
but
didn't?
I tried. You know, what I'm saying,
Okay.
I'm cool with the outcome. You know, all I can do now is just move forward. You know,
Now, don't you have a son?
I do. I have a five.
Okay.
That's
You
a
said
boy.
how old is he?
5 months.
Oh my God. Congratulations.
Yeah, my firstborn, Xavier
Oh,
Mason.
okay. Okay. Congratulations. Congratulations. So with that being said, you're building a legacy for him.
Yeah, I'm absolutely. I'm trying to get into the whole generational wealth, like everything. Like
Gotcha.
I feel like Nipsey, he put the platform down for us.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can elevate that so much more, not into just like mainstream things like music or books or films, but like properties, stores, and stuff like that. So like I'm just trying to build as much as I can and hopefully pass it down to him.
Now, for somebody that's coming out of jail, because a lot of times they find it hard to, how you say, reconnect with the world.
Right.
Like, how would you give them some advice to, I guess you said, get back on track?
I would say like the advice that I would have needed is like
Mm-hmm.
don't try to catch up to the rest of the world. Like slowly integrate yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody gets out of prison and they try to just go full head of steam, but like the world moves way faster. You know,
Right.
there's so much going on, and people don't like sometimes like they get sidetracked, they get misled, they feel uncomfortable in the world and things like that. So like taking things day by day, reintegrating yourself, having good like resources. you know, like every city has like their own like thinking for a change and stuff like that, like programs that help convicts. Like look into programs and stuff like that. Don't be afraid, like you mentioned earlier, like to talk to a therapist or something like that. Like if you feel like you need to. Like I know plenty of people that talk to therapists that are inmates that got out and felt like they couldn't cope with the world, and they felt like it's just anything besides going back to prison, pretty much.
Correct, correct, correct. And
But
I asked that question because so many people, like you said, they feel like they got to catch up with society because they've been gone so long,
yeah,
or they feel like I got to get this money because I broke and I'm out here, and it's like I don't want to be broke, but you also got to take the steps, like you said, one step at a time. It's levels to it.
yeah.
So I definitely understand all of that. Now, this clothing line that you have, how did we get into? Because we author, and so how did we get into the clothing apparels and stuff? Like, how did that come about?
Because like I always say, like born hated, and that's like kind of like my thing, and I like that's my LLC. But it's like I always wanted like a picture to go with it. Like this is my logo right here,
Mm-hmm.
born hated, and I don't know, like somebody was just telling me like you should make shirts, like that's like a cool logo and this, that, and this and that. And I ended up making a couple shirts just for like me and like my friends to wear, and then everybody else
Mm-hmm.
buying them. Like what? And then that's when I went full ahead. Like I make all my shirts, I do everything independently, and I just figured out how to do it. Got the equipment and material, start making my own stuff. I got a website, bornhatedculture.com, and it just kind of took off, you know. So good
So
thing.
the name born hated. Excuse my words, they're being twisted today. But how did you come up with that name? Like, what pursued that name to be the title of what your LLC was gonna be?
um, for me, it's like kind of deeper. I feel like me in general, like it can mean anything, but for me in general,
Mm-hmm.
like in the beginning, it was just me being a black man in America, and like
Mm-hmm.
hated like on every level. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'd say some people might say like, oh, that's just BS or something like that, but like you'd have to be like a black man in America to
Right.
understand. No one else would, but it's like if like we're not given the same opportunities or we're treated different, sentenced different
Mm-hmm.
like that, not given the same education opportunities, being having like being in inner cities and stuff like that. So I felt like I've always been hated, like on every level, from like education to the world to
Yeah.
like other people. And I just like I just that's what I named it. But I didn't name it just to be like something negative because like I
Right.
feel like I'm born hated, but like I rose above all of it. You know, got to like a whole nother level. And like I said, I feel like everybody feels like they have their own connection. You know what I'm saying? Like they're
Mm-hmm.
born hated. Like I've had all types of people be like, "Oh man, that's deep." Like from like white people, Mexicans, you know, blacks, everybody. So it's not just like a racial thing or anything like that. It's just that's my meaning, and everybody else can have their own for it.
But everything you're saying is so true though, because especially being a black man in America is way different.
Definitely,
It's way different. So being we are talking on a topic, like how did it feel, being a black man in America and like you said, born hated? Like how did you come to overcome and it still work now to overcome being a black person in America?
I just I didn't give up. Like I feel like so many people like give up after they feel like
Mm-hmm.
discriminated against or something like that.
Right.
I just didn't give up. Like I've been through like almost every situation that you can think of, and at the end of the day, I feel like if I don't give up, like at least I can say I tried. Like I went all the way. So like getting out of prison instead of just being like a victim, like oh, I'm failing now. I can't do this. I can't
Mm-hmm.
job. I was like, let me find out like how to get a sales license. Let me figure out how to publish a book. Let me figure out how to make clothes. And I didn't make an excuse, and I just kept going and kept going. And I got to this level, in which it takes like motivation. You know what I'm saying? Definitely dedication, but it's like anything's attainable as long as you don't give up. You just keep going.
Absolutely. So what's your goal for the next 3 years as far as your clothing line and your books?
Next 3 years, I wanna open up a store out here
Okay.
and like sell like my own merchandise and like local merchandise and stuff like that. That's what I'm in the works in right now. And I want to at least have like 5 more books published, but I want to help pretty much like Born Hated, like I'm trying to help people like publish books. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like I got a couple artists in Atlanta right now. I got 2 out here in the rural Colorado, and just help people publish books and help inmates that don't have a voice to like do things
Mm-hmm.
that like help them, you know what I'm saying, set up programs and stuff like that for them to get their literature out here and like their stories like published for like the world to see. But that's pretty, and I just want to be successful, you know, being
Okay. So what does success look like for you? Because
uh
everybody's success looks different. So what do
yeah.
your success look like?
For me, I would say success for me is just being out of jail. Like everybody wants like
Right.
Benzes and big houses and stuff like that. That's all right. As long as I stay out of jail, I feel like that's success. Like I want to just continue, like, because I feel like they can reach people. You know what I'm saying? Certain people like can connect to it or something like that in a different way or whatever it is.
Right.
But just happy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Listen, that's a great success to, like you said, to be out and not have to worry about being behind nobody's bars. So
Right.
amen to that.
Yeah, I promise you. Yeah.
So, if you had some, because we all have younger versions of us that looks up to us and younger kids and stuff like that. Like, what advice would you give them as far as, staying out of jail and, or going into being their own business person? Like, where should they start? Because the question will be like, okay, so what am I supposed to do and how am I supposed to do this?
Yeah, I would say first off, I would say like to like the teenage like crowd, stay in school. You know what I'm saying? Play sports, like figure out what you have a passion for, and like just stay. Don't be like, I'm in the streets, because that's not cool. Because that's where it starts. So like, stay a child. You know what I'm saying? Have fun. To people like that are trying to figure out how to start businesses or whatever it is, it's like uh you can YouTube, you can Google almost anything. Like people nowadays don't even need like college degrees and stuff like that. Like people are learning everything off YouTube, Google, Accident, and stuff like that. So know what you want to do and figure out what you have to do to attain that goal. Just research it and like you'll figure it out. You just gotta have the motivation to put it all together. As long as you put it together, it will fall in line. But you have to be motivated, stay on the course, not let other things peer pressure you into nonsense and stuff that you know is not right. Like if you know something's not right, you shouldn't do it because there's a chance you could end up in jail or end up worse or something like that. And just avoid negative situations.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Listen. You right though. You can Google just about anything because pretty much I Googled because I have an album, a spoken word album, and I Googled like the part of filling out the copyrights and the
Yeah.
next thing's getting into ASCAP and all that. So yeah, Google teaches you a lot. Google and YouTube.
Yeah. Everything. Google and YouTube. If you want a video to watch it and then not know something else, you go into a video
Hmm.
about that and you can figure anything out. You just gotta, as long as you paint
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely. So you said you have a book coming out Monday. Is that what you
Yeah.
said?
Yes,
Okay,
man.
so let's talk about this book adventure that's pop and it's crazy. That's popping out on Monday. Now, let me. I need the name. I need what it's about.
All right, it's called A Reason To, pretty much.
Okay.
And, it's a story about like a army veteran that loses everything while he's overseas. Like he loses his wife, and pretty much he comes back to the state and like he loses everything else. He goes into a deep depression and becomes alcoholic and just goes down like the whole rabbit hole. But then like a friend of his tries to help him, like another veteran tries to help him and has like his daughter pretty much like contact him and help him. And then it's
Oh
just
wow.
of like the fight between them, of her fighting to try to help him and him not wanting it, and them going back and forth, and then like him cleaning himself up, and then like once again like back and forth. But like this is like a love story too, but like this is to
Mm-hmm.
me, it's more of a like a strength and overcoming story, you know, about getting so,
Wow.
you know what I'm saying, getting over like loss, you know what I'm saying, how to deal with grief and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. It's interesting. Like, how did you come up with the characters in this one?
um Honestly, like I just sitting in jail cells. Like these like my first five books that I'm gonna publish, except for
Mm-hmm.
India's Web, are all books that I wrote while I was in prison. So now I'm
Mm.
slowly getting them out there, like book by book. But like just sitting
Gotcha.
in jail, like being in the hole or not want to go out to the rest of the unit and just sitting to myself every day, just actually sitting there putting in hours of like like on paper, like webs, like characters,
Yeah.
details of characters and everything like that, and then just putting it together.
Wow.
Yeah.
Listen, it's very interesting. So the title is also, was it hard to create this title, or you figured it out at the beginning, or when you was done with it and you came out, then you decided on the title of this book?
I think I started thinking about the book first before I started writing it, and I was like, I'm gonna call it A Reason To, because it's like kind of like love related, but it's like a reason
Yeah.
to. But I just took out the love part, so it's just like a reason to.
Reason to.
And then when you read the book, like, yeah,
Cause like the title was just like, you be like, because you'll be like, a reason to what?
yeah,
So it's very, it makes you think. It already gives you a thought at the beginning of it. So you be like, what this reason two gonna be about? Like, what journey is he taking me on? So
yeah.
absolutely. So you're dropping it on, are you dropping it on Amazon or all platforms, or where are you dropping it at?
I'm
For
gonna
the
have it on
release?
Amazon, and it's gonna be on
Mhm.
my website, Boneheaded Culture, as well, and it'll be paperback and ebook.
Okay. Now the other two books, they're paperback and ebook as well.
Yep, they're on Amazon
Okay.
and bornheadedculture.com.
Okay. Now, did you do book signings for them at all, or you're planning on
Well,
doing a book signing for any of them?
I'm thinking about doing like one big one for like all of them, probably like later.
Okay.
Yeah, I have. I'm still like I got like a book schedule, so it's like kind of hard trying to get time and stuff like that. But I'm
Gotcha.
thinking about just doing like a big signing for like all of them all at once. But the first book, I didn't really have like a book signing because I was in a halfway
Mm-hmm.
house, so I had to work with
Okay.
that and be there. And then like the second one, I kind of just released it. Like I was actually in my own place, and I just like released it. Like
Just
I'm gonna
released
release
it.
it, and then just sat in my house, celebrated by myself, and then went to work. you know.
All right. Well, everybody, we're gonna take a quick break, and we will be back with some more of that Cecil love story going on.
As the consumers. The consumers also raise it, because that I love one thing about watching the Dave Chappelle special, and he was saying, you know what, now I'm gonna go to my real bosses, and his real boss was the audience, and he said, I'm asking you guys who are the consumers to not purchase or participate in this, and so that's the same thing. We didn't as well. We are the real bosses and are the machine.
Right.
You know.
Do me a favor. On your platform, and again, I'm so humble and blessed to be on your platform. Do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
The same platform that you have right now and what you're doing right now, I don't even think you realize Rock Truth Radio stands for more than just Rock Truth Radio. Here's the difference with what you're doing culturally. You're talking about building a whole bunch of people that's looking at your show and looking at the sisterhood and brotherhood that you bring forth every single show. And it's showing them subliminally, this is how you work together.
Yeah.
This is the bridge you build for other people to cross over back and forth. That's the kind of platform that we need. That's the kind of positive energy that we need. If it's not for your show, how will younger people have first off a blueprint to follow and something to look forward to, and to say, I don't really want to do the rest of that stuff that everybody else is doing. I need a show that is indicative of who I am. And that's what Rock Truth is all about. So I'm so humbled to be on your platform.
Thank you. And we're humble to have you. And I'm sorry, just one last minute and I'll let everybody else talk. But thank you for that. And just like you said, you stand independent. So do we. We are not, willing to do anything for any money. We're not willing to compromise anything. If we got to put in the work, we'll put in the work before we compromise ourselves and the God that we serve. But we don't need that. We're not here for that. We're here for his namesake solely. And so I'm so grateful that you've taken again the time to turn and see us for who it is that we are. That was I'm trying not to cry, Will.
Let's go. I don't know what you're going through, but we stopped by to tell you that what's in front of you is bigger than what's behind you. Your destiny, your promise, your future. You might as well shout before you get it, because God sent me here to tell you that what he has for you is gonna be big. that it's my season.
That it's my season.
You ought to declare that over your own life. Say, I believe.
And I believe
that it's my time.
that it's my time.
It's my time.
It's my time.
And I can feel it.
And I can feel it.
Say breakthroughs in the room.
Breakthroughs in the room.
It's yours if you want it. Anticipating. God's getting ready to move.
God's getting ready to move.
Listen, you ought to declare this over your own life. Say it.
For I know
God, He's working a miracle just for me.
Just for me.
And it's gonna be.
And it's gonna be big.
Hey! Listen, I don't know about you, but I'm excited about my future. Why? It's gonna be big, yeah.
And it's gonna be big.
I'm running into destiny, shouting into my promise. Why? God's gonna
open the windows of heaven. Pour me out a blessing.
I won't have room.
Be wrong to be faded.
Can't even try to explain it.
But it's gonna be big.
God is gonna blow your mind.
God is about to blow my mind.
Yeah. God's gonna
Open the windows of heaven. Pour me out a blessing.
You won't have room.
Be wrong to be faded. Won't even try to explain it.
Why?
But it's gonna be big.
God is about to blow your mind.
God is about to blow my mind.
Hey, and it's gonna be. It's gonna be. It's gonna be big. It's gotta be big. Lord, let it be. Hey. My future is big. My destiny's big. My blessing is big. My promise is big. The new job will be big. My future is big. Lord, let it be big. And it's gonna be. Hey, God is about to blow your mind.
Is indeed a
I'm going to start by intro. So I heard from a bird.
And welcome to Rock Truth.
In the Bible.
I won't have room.
Won't be wrong to be faded. Won't even try to explain it.
Why?
But it's gonna be big.
God's about to blow your mind.
God is about to blow my mind.
God bless you. It's gonna be.
And it's gonna be big.
Hello. Thank you for being with us during our break. We are back with Miss Cecil Madison. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So back to the question at hand, Mr. Love, Mr. Love Writer. So, question for you. What do you do outside of your time when you're not writing, authoring, being a businessman? What do you do for fun?
For fun,
He's like, oh, what's that?
I only as far as doing things, I really don't do too much. Like I see my son when I can. I try to take
Mm-hmm.
him, and then like I just try to have fun as far as like riding or like working out. Like I like going to the gym. I like running, things like that. But that's pretty much it. But I try to give like when I'm not doing stuff or making deliveries, making clothes or sitting down writing, I try to give it to my son as much as I can.
Absolutely. Sometimes we work a lot, but you do have to find that medium of having self-care for ourselves. So that's why I asked that question. Like, what do you do as far as, outside of work? Because we work so much and forget about the true self as well. And, we gotta sometimes fill ourselves back up because we fill in everybody else's cup. So,
Right.
gotta give yourself that moment to do something that you enjoy.
Right.
So, if you had to tell your son about your life experience, how would you deliver that message?
Mm.
Yeah, I'm making you think.
I
Yeah.
like right now, like I just tell him like, man, I've been through a lot, a lot, a lot. Like, let me help you not go through anything that I've been through. You know,
Right.
like straight up, like I don't want him to go through anything that I've been through. So like, pretty much just telling him like, let me guide you. Some children like they go against their parents. Like you
Yeah.
go show them like the right way or something like that, and they end up like, in other situations. So like, I just want to be able to just give him advice and guide him. Just tell him, let me do that for you. Let me get you to where you need to be, like spiritually, mentally, physically, like everything. Like let me build you up, and let's see how great you can be. You know.
Yeah. Listen, I definitely understand. I have two girls, so like, and you'll have them be like, "Oh, mom, I want to be just like you." I said, "No, I want you to be better than me." So
Yeah,
that's why I asked that question. Like, I want you to be better than me. Don't be just like me. Be better. Be be better. Because I
all
went down some roads that I shouldn't have go down. So I don't want you to even go down that way. So be better.
right,
So many times, they look up to us and they want to be just like us. So that's where that question came from. Because being it's your first son, he gonna want to be just like daddy.
yeah. Sorry, scary. It's like,
It's true though. It is. It could be a scary situation. Like, wait, hold on. What you want to do? So absolutely. Do you want to read anything from any of your books? Do you want to share a passage?
uh, let me see. I got a little intro into love related, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, like backstory, like the situation didn't work out or whatever. But this is how
Yeah.
I'm saying, like the first page. Like it says, dedicated to her. You know who you are. There's no need for names. I lost you over and over, but only because I was blind to what we had. But I pray we cross paths again so I can get another chance at true love. Believing in true love is to endure true love, to endure that pain no matter how big or small it is. Sometimes love is overbearing, sometimes love seems simple. It has its ups and downs, but only because true love is God given. Sometimes it takes losing everything to realize what you had in life, to know who and what you love, to know what you want and need in life, and to start living and loving life. Don't let love pass you by. If you find it, grab it while you can.
Amen. Preach it now. Okay. All right. I hope y'all listening. Y'all heard what he said. I got jokes. I ain't got no sense.
Yeah.
So, um, what's the different? Like, do you have any other adventures that you're seeking into? Like, like off of me becoming an author, I do motivational speaking, and I do workshops and stuff. Like, do you have any other things that you're seeking, dabbling, or even thinking about doing?
Well, I got a couple other things. Like I'm trying to get into filmmaking. So
Okay.
that whole venture right now, like I want to figure out how to do everything. Which like I pretty much have everything down now. Now it's just
Mm-hmm.
like feeling like a cast and like going forward with it and filming. But I'm trying to be
No.
like Spike Lee, you know what I'm saying? Some
Okay.
might just out of nowhere. Cause like I have this vision, like the way I write is like is vivid, like you can picture it. So
Mhm.
like not only do I want people to be able to read it and see it in their minds, I want them to physically see like these stories. So I'm like, we'll figure it out as we go, but we're gonna get that done, type thing.
Okay. See, you took the words out of my mouth. I was going to ask you if you was going to turn your books into a movie.
Yeah, definitely. That's in the process of right now.
That's dope. That's dope. Like, are you taking like film classes and production classes, or are you just Googling
I,
and YouTubing?
I've been doing a little bit of both. I'm supposed to start this
Okay.
course at Community College of Aurora for like film school.
Okay. Okay.
That's like this fall, but like right now I've been just like YouTube and watching videos, watching this, like getting tips from like people that actually like make videos and independent films out here.
Mhm.
And like them teaching me and telling me stuff like that. And like I've been just like I got my own camera and everything, and I've been just trying out like little things. Now I'm like, I think I'm ready to like start with like a short film. Like that's like
Okay.
I'm gonna do a project called Kofax, and pretty much
Okay.
like the longest street in Colorado, but it's like the most dangerous, like drug filled, gang filled, like
Mm.
it's and pretty much like you come out here by like, yeah, Kofax, don't go to Kofax, or you'll see anything on Kofax. That's the saying, you'll see anything,
Yeah.
which is crazy. But you're
Wow.
getting
Okay.
so, and that's pretty much like the area that I grew up in. Like I grew up like
Yeah.
on the Kofax area, so like I wanted to tell like the tale of like Kofax, and I figured just name it Kofax, like the street that everything you know what I'm saying pretty much comes from. So
Right. That's be interesting. I can't wait to see it
yeah,
because I asked that, and it's crazy because you said that you had a camera. Because I was going to ask you, like, have you started filming? Had you dibbled into making your own like little clips and stuff
yeah.
like that, and for diddling and stuff like that? That's really dope.
All right, thank
That
you.
is really dope. See, I see you out here expiring and expanding the business. Okay. Now, for somebody that is thinking about trying to make their stuff at LLC and things like that, what advice do you have for them as far as starting into trademarking and getting their LLC and the steps to going about it?
The steps, like for starters, like a LLC is like it's simple. It's really simple. All you have to go to is Secretary of State, like whatever state you in, and like they'll have like a whole thing that tells you like what you're trying to get. Like you look at it and they'll say like LLC, copyright, things like that. All you gotta do is fill out like that whole form, pay like $50. But I think every state like costs different. But as long as like you first you get your LLC, like you officially like get your business, and like you don't necessarily have like a business plan yet, like you can still start your foundation and figure out as you go. Like don't be scared like to take that step, you know what I'm saying? So like start it, and like I said, it's simple. Just to start it, all you have to do is just Google it, you know what I'm saying, in your state, you know what I'm saying, Secretary of State, and it should be somewhere in there. And then just figure out what you want to do. Start making like financial plans, you know what I'm saying, of what you want to do, how you want to do it, how much it's going to cost. Like know what you're getting into. Pretty much don't just walk into something like, hey, I'm gonna make $1,000,000, but you don't have no plan to make $1,000,000, or you don't even have the work effort to make $1,000,000. Like just fully know what you're trying to do and what you do, pretty
Right.
much.
Yeah, because some people they see the business and they're like, oh, I can do that, but they don't get the other logistics behind it. Because just like
Yeah.
becoming an author, it's still a business. You
Yes.
know, just because I wrote it, it's still a business. You wrote the book, but it's still a business to it because you still got to market it, you still got to promote it. Especially like being, like a self published author. It's like we do all the market plans and
Yeah,
we
and you
do
got
all the. You got to book. Listen, we do everything. You're like a person with 20 different hands and 20 different things and
yeah,
trying to figure out what's next. So I kind of with mine, I know I had to learn as I went because some of the stuff I didn't know. So it was just like, okay, what am I doing?
right.
So, I actually took some marketing classes and actually went to a couple of sessions just to learn stuff because it's stuff that I still don't know that I'm still learning.
Right. Yeah, it's you learn nonstop. Like so it's like it's just if you pertain it, you know what I'm saying? If you use what you're learning, apply it. But yeah.
Absolutely. So before we go, can you give them a positive message that could hold them, through something that they could just take with them, and then also tell them your social media, the platforms that they can find you,
Right.
and how to follow you, and how to, get a shirt, a hat, some apparel.
Right. All right. First off, I want to say, like, to anybody going through anything, like, no pain lasts forever. It doesn't last forever. Keep that in mind and just like stay strong. And I say that because, like, I know a lot of people that go through depression and things like that, and I want people to know, like, you're never alone. There's someone always there for you. So just hold on. And just everybody in general, like, push forward. It's time for elevation. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're on. Elevating each other, like, help each other. Don't just be stingy. Nah, and then I'm Cecil Mason, CEO of Born Hated Culture. My website, where I sell all my books, all my merchandise, is bornhatedculture.com. Uh, my Instagram is Cecil Mason 1387. My Facebook is Cecil Mason. You can if you ever want to talk, if you ever have any questions about literature or anything like that, you can hit me up at any of my social medias, and I'm here.
Boom. See, we got you. We got you. Boom. You like that, right? See how we do you? We put you on. We put you on the screen. That's
Okay.
how we do over here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yes, it's been an honor having you here. It's been an honor to just get to know you a little better, because I met you by just being friends on Facebook,
Right.
and we just continue to follow each other. And I think I met you probably when you came out, because you was promoting your book,
Yeah.
and that's how we kind of connected. And it's just been an honor for me to bless people on this platform, and for them to get to know that there's many different people out here, and there's been people that's been through things that don't look like what they've been through, and they're here to bless you and teach you that there are steps to new things, and you just have to take the steps and work through it.
Right. I appreciate that. And vice versa. Like, I've seen you. I see you, you're a hardworking woman, and that's applauded. So keep doing.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm actually putting together my I have a monologue that I'm about to do virtually based off my book. So absolutely. That's what's in the works right now. Yeah. It's gonna be October 30th at 5 o'clock. So you already know. Gotta put this work in.
Yeah, that's my birthday too. So hey.
Oh, is it? That's crazy. I might have to give you a ticket for free to come through.
Man,
That's
let me
crazy.
know.
Wow. It's gonna be on a Zoom. So we'll chat. That's
Uh,
crazy. That's your birthday. That's dope. That's dope. How old are you gonna be?
33.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. Yes. See, we got look, he going through all see, look at the hoodie.
Yeah,
I need one of those. I need one of those.
they're
I need one
there.
of those. Yeah, I need to go check that out. I need one of those.
And we're updating the website Monday too. We're gonna have a lot more female wear and stuff like that there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, because we need the girl gear, please.
Yeah, definitely, always.
But I will be rocking hoodies though. Look, I'm in upstate New York. It gets cold here.
Oh
So
yeah. Well,
yeah,
it's
it
hot.
be freezing.
Yeah. All right.
But we thank you for coming through. It's been an honor to have you on the platform. Everybody, please go to his website, purchase his books, purchase his merchandise. He got a book coming out Monday. Monday,
A
y'all.
reason.
Listen, like, say it again. Go ahead. A reason
A
two,
reason
right?
to.
That's
Yeah.
listen. Reason two is dropping on Monday on his website and on Amazon. Please go support him. You know how to say it. Any support is better. Even if you can't purchase, share it with somebody else that might can purchase it.
Definitely a share, like anything. I appreciate it.
Yes, listen. That's all we ask. We don't ask for much.
That's it. No.
Sharing is caring.
Always.
But I want to thank everybody for tuning in to Rock Bottom. As always, we don't look like what we've been through. It's been an honor for y'all to be here. We will be back in the next 2 weeks. It's every other Saturday. We will be here showing y'all, encouraging y'all, and empowering y'all to
Peace.
don't look like what you've been through. Regardless of what you've been through, just stay strong through it. Be able to do the work, because Just because it happened doesn't mean that you have to stay stuck and stay there. I thank you. And as always, this has been your host, Sheena Gadon at Rock Bottom. And y'all have a good night.
Good night.